They're here! Run!
It's over!
This game does not want you to win. So, first things first. I think when everybody sees Cronos The New Dawn, they automatically think it's just a Dead Space clone. And I did too. Even in my short, I called it Dead Space without jump scares. But the further I got into it, that doesn't really fit the game. It's not scary, but it is the exact opposite of Dead Space. Cronos is much more like the original Resident Evil 4, but it's also not exactly like it either. So there was a game called Cold Fear that was on PS2 and Xbox. It was hard and it was very slow paced. Cronos feels like it's a mix of that and Resident Evil 4. Now the setting and the idea of the story takes me back to this amazing FPS called Singularity that was made by Raven Studios, the company that sadly got sentenced to making Call of Duty maps for Activision. There are a lot of similarities here. Both take place in a Russian setting. Something happens with space-time and now creepy creatures exist. You travel back and forth, trying to change it and discover what has happened. This is a great list of games to pull from when you're trying to make a unique horror experience. The game is not hard, but it does not want you to succeed either, which is very different than what we usually get. Every single time I get a good ammo stockpile in this game, it is drained because of these weird naked blob-like remnants of people because they take a lot of ammo. And then there's a big fat guy that takes forever to kill, and when he dies he just likes to moon you. This forces you to explore the world, looking for door codes just so you can get energy and materials to buy and craft ammo and health items. Also, it brings in a mechanic from Resident Evil Remake that was on GameCube, where you need to burn some of the enemies. If you don't, the other blob people will absorb them, becoming even harder to kill. It's frustrating, like a good survival horror game should be, and we don't get this anymore. It's a rarity, and I really thought that it was going to be more of an action horror game at the start, but as it goes on, it is more of a real survival horror game than I ever expected. The game takes you to different periods of time. The fall of civilization, after it, and slightly before, where you're hunting down certain key people to retrieve their essence so they can join the collective, to try and save the future. Kind of. It's more complicated than that, but I'm not going to spoil it. It is a very sci-fi heavy game with its story and its gameplay. You get some time manipulation effects like rebuilding explosive barrels for fights, shifting down broken parts of the world so you can get past, and then they take just a little bit from Ratchet and Clank with gravity boots, where you can flip upside down and fly from point to point just to reach your destination. And then there's cats. Somehow cats have survived in this crazy world. Don't know why, but they did. And for some reason these cats will drop you extra items for crafting if you find them. So they're worth hunting down. So I do have to mention performance. It's UE5 and Bloober Team, which is a match set for frame rate issues, and of course, it has those annoying little stutter spikes that you get just from walking through the world. I've played it on PC on a 5060 Ti. I can easily lock it at 60 frames a second, and it only hits around 60% of the GPU at max most of the time. Unless of course I use ray tracing, and then that jumps it up a lot, so I don't recommend that. Plus I can't tell what it really does in the game anyways. Bloober Team has really stepped their game up lately. Starting with Silent Hill 2, they are pushing themselves to try and become one of the top horror game makers out there. There are some things that they still need to work on, like performance and learning what correct black levels are in a game. But they aren't the only ones, and it's getting really old. Developers really need to fix their picture quality problem. Anyways, Bloober Team are on an upward trend, and I am looking forward to the original Silent Hill remake that they are working on and what they have coming after that. So, does Cronos The New Dawn get a player pass? It's a play. I've had a great time with it and plan on multiple playthroughs with its New Game Plus mode. Let me know if you played it or you're planning on picking it up. Thanks for watching, and would you kindly leave a like and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later.